Hey everybody, that cat here, and I just wanted to share with you a little meme build I put together. I had the concept of wanting to do a triggered summon Skellie and Darkpact character. Wasn't sure how I wanted to go about it, but it seemed like it might be fun to play. Played around with it a little bit. I can tell you the results afterwards, but let's go through what we came up with. We took a we took a couple different routes to try to make this work. Wound up with using a poet's pen for the Darkpact. So this will trigger every 0.25 seconds, so 4 times a second, and I generally in gameplay use it about twice a second. I'm ballparking, obviously. I haven't timed out my half-second trigger, but if I spam it too much, it depletes my mana. So there's only so much you can do with it. But we're going with void manipulation, obviously, because Darkpact is chaos damage. So void manipulation, and we went anomalous because we get area effect on the Darkpact. That seems to help us out. And we went with chain because the way Darkpact works, it draws life from your Skellies in order to do damage to mobs. It takes 8% life from Skellies. And chain will have that go around and do it for more Skellies. So it chains 2 times just from the gym, plus 2 times. So that means it'll draw from 3 Skellies. With the chain support, it'll draw from 5 Skellies. So you get 8% on damage from each cast when you have the chain on it. It works pretty well that way. Now for triggering the Skellies, we're using a Spell Slinger. We can use Spell Slinger effectively because the supported skill deals 31% less damage with hits and ailments that gets applied based on Spell Slinger is kind of irrelevant. You're not really concerned with the damage the Skellies do. They're just there to be a life pool for the Darkpact. And we also have them, so we're running minion life and summon Skellies, but we also have them with Infernal Legion because we have them ticking down to 0, and then we have the minion instability on our tree to have them do 33% of their life as fire damage. We are really packing in the life for them. Like we went in for a bunch of life nodes on Skellies. We got these here. We got these up here. It's all about life on the Skellies. That's the idea. And then this wheel, we got a bunch of life for Skellies. And we also got the mastery to get 30% increased life. We don't care about their recovery. We want them to have a huge life pool. We also went for that on gear. So like our helmet, we have 33% increased life. This is what we aimed for in gearing, was increased life for minions. Did we get it on boots? We didn't get it on boots, but we got it on the belt. I actually built this last week, so I'm having to refresh my memory a little bit to make this guide. But it was fun enough to make that I wanted to share with you. So hamming out on minion life, getting the Skellies to have a lot, and then turning that into damage with Darkpact and minion instability. So that's the concept. Now, in order to trigger both the Spell Slinger and the Poet's Pen, we went with an Anomalous Power Siphon. We did Anomalous. That gets us an extra projectile. It's just spamming all over the place. We also changed this one, so it hits minions and goes all over. So we're collecting. Here's the things we do. We're not so much concerned about damage with the Power Siphon. We want that to just hit things, and we're using the Hex Touch to apply 2 curses. We have Temp Chains for a defensive layer, and we have Divergent Despair. Despair, of course, diminishes their chaos resistance, and we're doing chaos damage with the Darkpact. So we're also doing a Mana Leech because we had an extra socket, and it helps us for our sustain. We went with Divergent because that gets us flat mana on hit, as well as the 3.8% mana leech. We went with the Divergent Despair as opposed to a standard quality, because we got the 9% chance to hinder cursed enemies. We're not really concerned about the damage, but the hinder is helpful. It's another defensive layer. So we're basically going with a one button. We have a Wither totem set up for bossing, and I've got to warn you, bossing is super slow. Mapping is moderate paced, but reasonably safe. I'm about to run a tier 16 map at a level 91. So as a demonstration, we're going to run a beach here in a second. So let me show you our reservation setup. We've got Clarity just for a little more mana sustain, and it's a low level, I think a 4. We're running a level 4. I mean, whatever fits, whatever feels good. Determination is for the fizz mitigation, obviously. Spellslinger, we need it for the trigger. And then Skitterbots, they have a defensive layer and an offensive layer both, with the chill to slow things down and the shock to do more damage. So that's what we're doing with this character. It's pretty straightforward. One of the big clear items we do, we went with Occultist, and Profane Bloom does the bulk of our clearing. We kill one thing, which is assisted by the Culling Strike that's built into Power Siphon, but the Profane Bloom just kind of takes over, and we spec'd into a little bit of area of effect in order to increase the ability to clear areas. So that's the basics of the build. Let me show you how this plays. We're going to pop this in. It's a tier 16 beach map with increased speed. It's nothing that special. I did put one chaos on it to spec out of a no regen map, so you have to be a little selective. We're going with Eater influence, and we are going to run a Sentry Sentinel and maybe a Pandemonium. We'll see. So we're gonna pump things up a little bit and just show you the build. If you choose to tune out at this point, this is a pretty slow mapping, particularly when we get to the boss. I'm going to do the full run through here, but if you want to tune out, all the information will be in the notes. You can pick up the POB and take a look at that directly. But almost died there. So you're staying out of the way. This isn't going so well. I wanted this to be a little smoother. It's not a super smooth or super fast build. But again, these are sentry laden. These are empowered. And this is a meme build. It's fun to play. I've had fun building it. I can't recommend it as a world beater. I certainly can't recommend it as a bosser, and you'll see when we get to the map boss how it moves slowly. I'm just going to progress on through the map rather than do the full clear, so we can get to the boss and I can show you what we're working with. But you try to stay out of the way with this build, as you do with most builds, I suppose. But here I'm actually backtracking just to stay alive. Well, you get those Profane Bloom pops, and you hear them go, and it's pretty satisfying. It clears a chunk at once. This is going to be rippy. Yeah, saw that coming. So this is a great demonstration here. Again, the information's down below. I know this is a little tedious watching me try to struggle my way through this tier 16. As you can see, this is no world beater. It's kind of fun though. It's one button play. So I'm activating my Molten Shell with my move skill, and I'm just hitting one button for the Power Siphon, and then the triggers take care of the rest. I have yet to opt into the Wither totems, but that will come when we hit the boss, and it could come at any time. But honestly, I have fun with just the one button play style. So I don't use it a whole lot. Let's get up here to the map, to the boss. Left a lot uncleared. We could do a more full clear if we chose. It's just a matter of time, and you just skirt around the edge. So here's where the build really does not shine, and quite frankly, the playthrough there on the mapping was not particularly shiny. But it's just pretty slow, and you can get through it. You dance around, and you've got some meat shields there with your skellies. And it's a reasonably safe play style when there's just the one target. But now we've got them down to about 25%, and that's how it goes. You just dance around. We've got our totems up there applying weather stacks, and we just move back and forth. We got them down to about 50% now, and that's the build, guys. It was fun to put it together. It was fun to make this combo kind of work. And I say work generously. As you can see, it's more just an exercise and seeing what can happen. It's a lot more fun if you're not pushing levels. This is a rare tier 16 map. It is not corrupted and super juiced, but it's a reasonably juicy map, and we're making it work with this meme build. So I encourage you to maybe take this as inspiration to make something a little off meta work for you. If you want to play around with this, I'm sure there's a little more room to go further. I tried playing an Animate Guardian because I thought it would be pretty well juiced with all the increased minion life I built into the tree, and he died pretty quickly. I'm not sure exactly how that happened. I mean, I didn't have any super tooled up gear there. It was pretty standard stuff, but just a little extra utility for the play style, and I lost him. It wasn't expensive. It wasn't a big loss, but I was surprised with the content I was playing that he died. In any case, it might work well with zombies to apply some blind or hinder, or even apply wither stacks in that way. There's things you can do to play around with it. Feel free, of course, and have fun with the game, man. It's not all about the meta. Give something else a try. Appreciate you watching. Feel free to drop by my stream. I'm trying out new things 6 days a week. The address will be in the notes below. Like, follow, and subscribe, folks. Appreciate you. This is That Cat, and I'm out.